Let's just talk about risk assessment. Risk assessment is a systematic, analytical, and statistical approach employed in determining hazards in a sample. There are two types of risk assessments, and one of it is quantitative risk assessment, and the second type is environmental risk assessment. And environmental risk assessment is what this page will be discussing on. Environmental risk assessment is further divided into two, where you have your human health risk assessment and ecological health risk assessment. When it comes to human health risk assessment, is further divided into two, where we assess the carcinogenic and non-carcinogenic human health risk assessment. And this environmental risk assessment generally talks about our exposure to our environment, and how they affect us, when they affect our health. So these are the things this page will be talking about, and bringing people's research to your knowledge on the impact or the effect of the environment or these carcinogenic agents on our health. What are the ways to this risk assessment? Number one, you have to identify the possible places in the environment where these chemicals that will cause or pose this health risk to us. We have to identify the possible places where they are. Since we're talking about the environment, then we're going to look at the air, look at the soil, then we look at water, then we look at the plants that grows around the environment. So these are the possible places where we can identify or where we can find these chemicals that causes harm to us. Then secondly, we have to assess them. We have to assess them. How do we do that? This assessment comes using sophisticated equipment like mass spec, using GCMS and other sophisticated equipment. And those ones will tell you the amount of these chemicals that are present in any of these samples that you have collected. Okay. Then after that, the next thing is just for us to treat. Now, since you have identified this and do your statistical analysis, you now have to also compare the results you find with the standards. You can talk of World Health Organization, you can talk of NAFDAC and all that. You compare them with the standard to know if they are kind of very high to the permissible limits or maximum residue limits. Then if they are high, it becomes an issue and a challenge. Okay, so these are the things we'll be exploring from these scholars. And these scholars, most of them, as they write, are comparing their results with standards and with other researchers all over the world. After treating it, the next thing is just to monitor. We don't just have to treat and leave. Because we live in an environment that are kind of polluted. We have so many industries and so many activities going on everywhere. And even the soil itself, produces those type of chemicals over time, over the years. So we have to keep on monitoring. So we monitor and treat, And so these are the possible ways on how we identify and how we assess these risk factors in our environment. So subsequent time, I'll be dropping videos of the researches of scholars to this regard.